Strong storms continue to roll through our area. Heavy rain away from St. Louis. We'll update you on when all of this rain wraps up, plus more to come as we head into the weekend.
Christina Cornell in Farmington, Missouri, and coming up in a few minutes, I'll have more on how emergency crews are preparing to keep you safe.
We are live in Bonne Terre this morning. We'll give you a look at what is going on along Highway 47 here with very heavy rainfall coming down in this part of St. Francis County.
St. Louis weather. It can, 1 minute it's dry, 1 minute it's storming like crazy.
Storm crews standing by. How local emergency departments are planning for today's flash flooding risk.
School shopping spree, how you can snag a full wardrobe for your kids at 50 to 90% off.
This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
Good Thursday morning. Right now, the southern part of our region on both sides of the river are in flash flood alerts. So we're waking up in a storm alert this morning once again. Here's a look at the current conditions in Chesterfield, Arnold, and Eureka. That's where the rain has been hitting the hardest, both yesterday and again this morning. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, August the 3rd. I'm Renee Knott.
And I'm Michelle Lee. Right now, the risk of flash flooding still high for a lot of folks out there. We've seen lots of lightning as well. Half an hour ago, we had to move our Justina Cornell, actually, and our photographer Kira to a safer location in St. Francis County. And we just saw their live shot just a second ago. Lots of lightning again.
A lot of water.
Yes, a lot of water. We've got our whole team monitoring our conditions out there. Weather First meteorologist Anthony Slaughter and Tracy Henson are here keeping an eye on our weather chances and our road conditions. Alex Fees is also out on the road in our storm tracker, giving us a look from the ground.
And our Justina Cornell is in Farmington with tips for dealing with flooding roads and water damage. But first, let's check in with our Anthony Slaughter with that forecast. Welcome back from vacation, Anthony.
All right, welcome back. And this morning we are waking up in storm alert, as you mentioned. Here's a look at the radar, and you can see what I'm talking about, all the rain that's south of St. Louis. We've been tracking this for the duration of the morning, but St. Louis Metro has missed out on a lot of this rain. Where the heaviest is set up just south of Herman, where we did have a flash flood warning in place for parts of Gasconade and Franklin County. That has expired. Some good news there. Also, the severe thunderstorm warning we had in Bonne Terre, that has expired. So we are making some headway when it comes to the severe risk and the severity of the flash flooding. I will say St. Louis Metro, St. Charles Metro East will miss out completely on any flash flooding, but it's down in Bonne Terre, Farmington, Bismarck, and even over towards Perryville, where this particular cell was the one responsible for the power outages in Bonne Terre and also the flash flooding there. But again, right now, no flood alerts anywhere. Those have expired all across our viewing area, even in southern Illinois. It's just plain old rain, nothing severe. So we are making some improvements here across the area, but it is still raining. Just the flooding threat has diminished, especially in St. Louis, greatly. I mean, we're probably just going to stay cloudy through the morning with afternoon temperatures in the 80s, and yes, some sunshine in that forecast later today. We will talk more about stormy weather as we go into the weekend. That's coming up. Let's get an update on those area roads and talk to meteorologist Tracy Henson. Good morning to you, Tracy.
All right, good morning. So 44 at 100. This is Gray Summit. We do have a semi that's off to the side. I think he's just maybe waiting out some weather if he is heading south. You can see there that the roadway is just a little bit glossy, showing off that we have had a bit of rainfall out there. So in those areas with the ponding, that could also be significant. So your shoulders and your center lanes might be a little bit flooded in those areas, especially along 44 and Interstate 55. But so far, things are moving along pretty good this morning. Only one issue to talk about, and that's been Belleville this morning. A little bit odd here. So along 20th to 23rd, that was a report of a sinkhole that came in around 4 in the morning. And then they have this water main break, and it's still reporting that it's closed at Illinois 159 near Lincoln Street. Now, the second morning of pre-dawn threatening weather is turning area roads slick and some at risk for flash flooding. Alex Fees is out and about in the storm tracker monitoring conditions. He joins us live now with how to safely drive in the rain. Alex.
Hey, Tracy, good morning. You can probably see a very impressive lightning display out the window here behind me. Let's give you a look out the windshield here. This is Highway 47 in this part of St. Francis County here in Bonne Terre. Now this drainage ditch or creek here along Highway 47, Larry Johnson and I have just decided this thing has risen several feet, probably 2 or 3 feet in the course of the last half hour or so. Again, this is right along Highway 47 here. You can see the splash coming off of vehicles that are traveling on Highway 47 this morning. This is very much the situation with, again, an impressive lightning display and very heavy rain falling here in the city of Bonne Terre this morning. Now, AAA officials say the first 10 minutes of a downpour present the highest risk for this, for hydroplaning, when tire treads lose contact with the concrete. Now, we've got some video to show you from overnight. This is shot in South St. Louis County that night. At times we saw heavy rain and intermittent lightning in the skies. So if you're out and about driving in these conditions, AAA officials say this is what you need to do to avoid hydroplaning and maintain control of your car. Follow the leader. Try to drive in the tracks of the car in front of you for a clear path. Leave extra room. If you typically leave 3 seconds of space between you and the vehicle in front of you, make it 4 or 5. If you're on the highway, try to drive in the center lane. Many roadways have a crown that sends water either to the left or to the right. Avoid cruise control. Don't give up control. If you have to slow down in wet weather, just take your foot off the accelerator. Don't give away any control to that notion of cruise control. And stay calm. Your first reaction to hydroplaning might be to brake, but resist it. Don't brake. Don't hit the brakes. Instead, just ease off of that accelerator. Once your vehicle regains traction, look and steer in the direction that you want to go. And again, we are looking at a live shot here in the town of Bonne Terre this morning. You can see that drainage ditch is filling. I fear that that water may soon cross Highway 47 here going through the town of Bonne Terre. A very impressive display of lightning and high water rising here in this creek or drainage ditch in the city of Bonne Terre. And as people exit their homes here this morning in this neighborhood along Highway 47, I want to caution them to look out for down power lines. It's deceptive because oftentimes you can't see them. Larry Johnson and I noticed that driving around town this morning with all the down tree limbs. Live in St. Francis County, Alex Fees, 5 on your side.
Thank you, Alex. Here's a look at the downpour from last night from our cameras at the Kirkwood Farmers Market. Look at that. It's a lot of water coming down. While the plants might be happy about that water, that kind of downpour could lead to leaks in roofs and, of course, flooded basements. Wind was a problem last night in some parts of our viewing area, like St. Francis County, where they recorded 70-mile-an-hour winds.
Our Justina Cornell is joining us live from Farmington. And Justina, I know that we've been moving you around quite a bit because of the flooding. Earlier, you said you felt like a wet dog. As long as you don't smell like a wet dog, that's all right. But how's it looking out there right now where you are? I hope you're being safe.
Don't smell like it, but I definitely look like it. I was saying, we were just talking about how when I Mary Poppins my umbrella, we knew it was time to get to safety. So right now we're under a gas station. And just to give you an idea, Farmington is about 75 miles southwest of St. Louis. So just to give you some perspective of where we are located right now. Right now we're underneath a gas station just to be safe, but you can still feel the wind and the rain coming through. Now emergency crews tell me that there are down power lines, down trees, and they're working quickly to go through all of that. But of course, Mother Nature might get in the way, so they're just working quickly but safely, and that's their number one priority right now. Also working hard are emergency management crews such as St. Louis County's team. Post-flash flooding, their emergency management specialist said you should avoid disaster areas. Do not enter a flood-damaged home until you get all clear from authorities. Check on loved ones, and if you're heading out, they urge you to avoid driving into floodwaters. And the biggest thing is to be prepared.
We want to urge everybody, if you don't have to travel, don't. Please just stay home. And if you do have to travel, make sure that you're looking for those down trees, down power lines after a storm has moved through your neighborhood. Be on the lookout for floodwater.
Now, I just spoke to the emergency management with the region right here, and they tell me that flash flooding is their biggest concern. Right now we're at a gas station. We do see people out and about, so just please be careful. Wow, you can hear that noise right now. Again, be careful if you're heading out there. Coming up at 6:30, we'll have more information on how many people are without power. Reporting live, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
Wow, that is just such impressive thunder. All right, stay safe, Justina and Kira. Thanks so much. It is important to have those emergency crews at the ready. Just over 1 year ago, our Sydney Stallworth and Mercedes McKay recorded this video. You can see while they were headed out to report on flash flooding, their car got stuck in rising waters because it happened so fast. They were under an overpass in Maryland Heights. Thankfully, firefighters got to them very quickly and carried them to safety. It just shows you really how fast things can turn around. And our first responders are doing such incredible work. Our utility crews are working, and they are ready to respond to similar weather-related emergencies this morning. My brother-in-law's a lineman. He's been super busy. So as of yesterday afternoon, several fire crews across the area activated a special task force to stay on top of emergency calls.
And they requested boats. So if there's flooding in the area, the teams are already rostered, and they'll be ready to be deployed at short time. It only takes a couple inches for cars these days to float. So a couple inches of water can make you be pushed off road into deeper water.
And again, just want to thank all of our folks who are out there working in this treacherous weather. By the way, he also recommends charging your phone before you get in your car and bringing an emergency kit that includes a flashlight.
And listen to this. Ameren, Missouri and Ameren, Illinois are working together to get the lights back on both sides of the river. If the weather hits one area harder than the other, they shift gears to get the lights back on. Now, here's a look at the current outages in our area. Right now, there are less than 150 Ameren, Illinois customers without power. But on the Missouri side, over 14,000 customers are in the dark right now, Anthony.
Yeah, that's right. And in fact, most of those come from St. Francis County, where recently power was knocked out to over 2,000 customers there from the particular storm I'm about to show you on the radar. This one moving through Farmington right now. I will say we don't have any severe thunderstorms in our area right now, no warnings, but there certainly is heavy rain that's covering the road. And in some spots, so much lightning and thunder, well, you're probably getting woken up and you're probably hearing it. You heard from Justina's live shot. Of course, Mother Nature, you know how it is. Sometimes, especially when it's nice and quiet in these times of mornings, you get that loud thunder and boom, it kind of shocks you. So this morning, Farmington, storms are moving through there. Bonne Terre, things are wrapping up there, but that's where you had most of those power outages. And then over towards Perryville, southern Illinois, yes, you have storms lingering as well. So here's what to expect the next few days. This morning, the rain should wrap up, but in the heaviest downpours, 2 to 5 inches. Unfortunately, it's going to be very uncomfortable when it comes to the humidity today. There are more storms, though, in that weekend forecast. The Futurecast and the numbers coming up in just a few minutes. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Anthony. And the Weather First forecast is available 24/7. We keep reminding you on this because it's so important, especially if you're out the door and saying, okay, what's the weather like? Text the word weather to 314-425-5355 and we will send you a link.
Revamping the railroads, Missouri's plan to improve safety a year after the deadly Amtrak crash near Minden.
Spend a little, save a lot, where you can stock up on back-to-school clothes and make some money in the process.